Shabbat Shalom and Lashana Tovah. This is the first video blog that I will be doing, and hopefully not the last. You'll also be able to read my blog on www.jewishkansascity.org and catch up with past blogs that you may have missed. So welcome if this is your first time, and welcome again to those who are coming back to this blog. So I want to catch you up on what happened over the summer and where we've been. Since I last blogged, a number of things have happened overseas, particularly in Israel. We all know about the famous Gaza flotilla incident. This reached international proportions. The UN is currently conducting an investigation. Israel did its own investigation, and while it found that perhaps its methods were not the best, they would not have done anything differently in terms of stopping the flotilla. It's still a hot topic in the media, and the jury is still out, and we wait to see what the UN investigation will show. There are other flotillas waiting to test the blockade. Israel has vowed to stop them as well. But there are new issues that have arisen almost weekly over the summer. There was the shooting at the border of the Israeli officer by soldiers of the Lebanese army. There is evidence there was collusion between the Lebanese army and Hezbollah. This was not a good thing, but Israel was able to prove that they were in the right on this one, and had documents that they had contacted UN forces and let them know they were doing this, and the UN forces had contacted the Lebanese army. So there is definitely something going on up there that we need to be wary of. Rockets from Sinai hit Eilat, the Red Sea port, and also hit Aqaba, which is on the Jordanian side of the Red Sea. We don't know what or who was involved in those, but it was a serious incident. Is this a prelude to some greater strategy that both Hezbollah and Hamas are trying to do in conjunction with Iran? We don't know. And we also don't know what Israel will do in terms of Iran and its nuclear strategy. We know that Israel has vowed not to let Iran have nuclear weapons. I urge you to write your congressman, to write the president, and to get them to enforce these sanctions so that Israel does not have to take action. There was one other incident this summer that the Federation was involved in, the whole Federation movement. In conjunction with our synagogues, our Reform and Conservative synagogues, and their movements, we stopped a potentially heinous conversion bill from getting to the Israeli Knesset. This is not the first time that this has happened, but we were right on top of it. Our CEO of our national organization, the Jewish Federations of North America, was there, along with Natan Sharansky, the famous Natan Sharansky of Soviet Refusnik fame, to stop this bill. We don't know if it will come up again. It has been delayed for at least 6 months, but we have lobbying efforts underway to make sure that it never reaches the floor of the Knesset. Closer to home, we've been very busy. Our allocations process, which takes place annually, was finished, and you can look again at our website, www.jewishkansascity.org, to see the allocations that we made. We also changed the system a little bit. In the past, we have guesstimated our annual campaign, which usually ends in December, and use that number to allocate from. This year, we decided to use the past campaign number and allocate from that, so we had a sum certain. If there are any variations at the end of the year, they will be reflected in next year's allocations. We believe the committee did an outstanding job under the leadership of Sue Nerman. It has taken all of the guesswork out of the previous process. We also reworked our formulas, and using Cone endowment monies, which provided some extra dollars, we were able to give slightly more to our agencies this year. Other changes are taking place within the Federation. We have an internal strategic planning process that has been going on. Some of you may remember about 11 or 12 years ago we issued a major strategic plan for the community. While the philosophies of this plan stay the same, obviously times have changed, programs have been done with relation to the initial plan, and now we need to get on to new things. And so our board has been hard at work integrating some non-board members into the process. And there are 4 major areas we're looking at: financial resource development, the lifeblood of the Federation, identity and education, engagement and leadership development, and Israel and overseas. Obviously, engagement and leadership development is also extremely important to us. If we don't take care to bring in the next generation, we will also not have a community in the future. So watch the Chronicle and watch my blog this fall for more information about what comes out of this planning process. I had some experiences this summer which I want to share with you. They were important experiences. One was with my colleagues, fellow Federation directors, and the other was a group of volunteers, major philanthropists from around the country. Many things were said at these two conferences about staying relevant and staying on top of where we are, both economically, but also, as I pointed out, in terms of engaging the next generation. We must continue as a federation to stay relevant to our community if we are to provide meaning. We also must continue to raise significant dollars. These are not easy tasks in these hard economic times. We need good leadership, and I believe we have it. We have good volunteers that do the work for the Federation. We have been working on behalf of this community for 77 years, and we have risen to meet the challenges over the course of those years. We will continue to do the same in this new Jewish year, 5771. Lastly, I want to remind you that this coming Wednesday, September 1st, at 7:30 p.m. in the White Theater is our annual meeting. We will feature a celebration of the 20th anniversary of Operation Exodus. This was truly a remarkable and memorable event, and I know in this community, many of our institutions and our synagogues and many of you helped to resettle over 1,000 Soviet emigres in our community. We have invited them and you to come and join us and to hear Misha Galpern, himself an emigre and now the head of global operations for the Jewish Agency, talk about this incredible event. So once again, Happy New Year to you and Shabbat Shalom.